Hello and welcome back to another late night conversation. The rain has finally stopped outside, so it's just us and the microphones tonight.
It's nice and quiet now.
It is. I'm sitting here with my good friend Sarah, who I've known since our college days. Thanks for coming by, Sarah.
Thanks for having me, Mark. It's always good to just sit and talk.
Tonight, I wanted to touch on something that sounds like a cliché, but I think we rarely dissect it honestly.
Oh, what's that?
The old question, does money really buy happiness?
The million-dollar question. Literally.
Right. Because we grow up hearing two very different things. On one hand, money is the root of all evil, and money can't buy joy. But on the other hand, everything in our culture screams, get rich or die trying.
It's a massive contradiction. We are programmed to chase financial success as the ultimate marker of a good life.
Exactly. But I have to say, I lean towards the idea that it's mostly a mindset. I think you can be genuinely happy with very little.
See, I disagree with you there. I think that is a very romanticized view of the world.
How so?
Well, try being happy when you don't know where your next meal is coming from, or when you can't afford insulin. I think money buys safety, and it's really hard to be happy without safety.
That's true, but look at history. Look at people living in much simpler times. Or monks. They have nothing, yet they seem to have a peace we don't.
But are they happy because they have no money, or because they have a community that supports them? In our society, if you have no money, you are isolated.
That is a really solid point. I hadn't thought about the isolation aspect.
It's the stress, Mark. Constant cortisol. You can't meditate that away easily.
Yeah, you're right. I guess I was conflating simplicity with poverty. They aren't the same thing.
Exactly. Money buys the freedom to choose simplicity. Poverty forces it on you.
I stand corrected. That distinction is crucial. So let's agree that up to a certain baseline, security, food, health, money is absolutely necessary for happiness.
I think that's fair.
I wonder what everyone listening thinks about that baseline. If there is a specific number where the stress stops and the happiness begins, you can let us know in the comments if you have a theory.
I'd be curious to read those.
So, assuming we have the basics covered, the rent is paid, the fridge is full, does adding more money to the pile increase the happiness?
That is where it gets murky.
So we're past survival mode. We are comfortable. Now we look at the cultural narrative of the American dream, the bigger house, the luxury car.
The ladder that never ends.
Right. And I feel like this is where the relationship flips. I honestly think that after a certain point, more money makes you less happy.
You think so?
I do. Because now you have something to lose. You have maintenance. You have people wanting things from you. It seems exhausting.
I don't know, Mark. That sounds a bit like something people tell themselves to feel better about not being rich.
Maybe. But look at the data on lottery winners, or just the general anxiety levels of high net worth individuals. It's not a peaceful existence.
True, but think about the experiences. If I had unlimited funds, I could travel anywhere. I could fund art. I could help my family. That agency, that ability to affect the world, that has to bring joy.
But does it? Or does it just bring complexity? If you can go anywhere, you're never satisfied where you are. The paradox of choice.
The paradox of choice.
Yeah. If you can only afford a camping trip, you enjoy the camping trip. If you can afford the whole world, no single destination feels special anymore. You get desensitized.
You know, I actually felt that recently on a smaller scale. I had too many options for a vacation, and I ended up just staying home because I was overwhelmed.
Exactly. It paralyzes you.
I see what you mean. The constraints, the limitations, they actually give the experience value. If you can't have everything, nothing matters.
That's it. Value comes from scarcity.
Okay, you convinced me on that one. Unlimited access might actually dilute the joy of the experience.
It's a strange trap. We worked so hard to remove limits, only to realize the limits were what made things fun.
It ties into our self-worth, too. We attach our identity to these financial milestones.
We do, especially here in the West. What do you do is usually code for how much do you make?
It's tragic, really. It reduces a human being to a net worth statement.
I'd love to know if our listeners feel that pressure, that need to keep up just to feel valid. Drop a thought below if you felt that treadmill speeding up recently.
It's hard to step off of it.
It is, because if you step off, you feel invisible.
And that goes back to what we said earlier about community. We use money to signal our place in the tribe.
So perhaps the real question isn't about the money itself, but about why we think we need it to be loved.
That is a much deeper question.
It reminds me of that concept, the hedonic treadmill.
I've heard of that. You basically just keep running in place, right?
Right. You get the raise or you buy the new car, and your happiness spikes for maybe a month?
If you're lucky.
Exactly. And then you return to your baseline. You get used to the luxury. The leather seats are just seats. The big house is just a lot of floor to clean.
I think that's true for status items, but I'm going to push back a little on the idea that all material things lose their spark.
You think some things keep giving?
I do. I think about things that remove friction from your life, like a really good mattress or a dishwasher if you've been washing by hand.
Okay, functional upgrades.
Yeah, those don't just give you a dopamine hit, they actually give you time and comfort every single day. That doesn't fade as quickly.
That's a fair distinction. I was thinking of flashy things, watches, cars.
Right, but spending money to fix a leaky roof or to get a laptop that doesn't crash, that buys peace of mind. And peace of mind is pretty close to happiness.
I see what you mean. It's the difference between pleasure and functioning.
Exactly.
I guess I was too focused on the shopping spree image of money. But you're right, using money as a tool to fix problems is a very different category.
It's about removing the negatives rather than just chasing positives.
That's a great way to put it. Removing a rock from your shoe.
Precisely.
So, if we use money to remove the rocks, we are happier. But if we use it to just decorate the shoe, maybe not so much.
That sounds about right to me.
This brings us to the pressure aspect, the comparison game.
Which is worse now than it has ever been in human history.
Because of social media?
Absolutely. You open your phone and you are immediately bombarded with the highlights of everyone else's financial success.
It is relentless, but do you think there's a chance that it's actually motivating?
Motivating? In what way?
Well, seeing someone succeed might show you what's possible. It might light a fire under you to work harder, to build something for yourself.
I don't know, Mark. I think that is a very optimistic take.
You think it's mostly negative?
I do. I think for every one person who gets inspired, there are 1,000 who just feel inadequate. It doesn't say you can do this, it says look at what you don't have.
That feels heavy.
It is heavy. It breeds resentment. You aren't seeing their struggles, you're just seeing the result. It makes your own life look dull by comparison, even if your life is perfectly fine.
You're right. I think I was trying to find a silver lining, but the data probably backs you up. It creates a sense of lack where there wasn't one before.
Exactly. It creates a deficit.
Comparison is the thief of joy.
Theodore Roosevelt. He knew what he was talking about.
He didn't even have Instagram. Imagine if he did.
He would have been miserable.
I'm curious if anyone listening has actually managed to turn that social media envy into something positive. If you have, tell us how you did it in the comments, because I think most of us just end up scrolling and feeling bad.
I'd be impressed if someone has cracked that code.
Me too. So we have the treadmill, we have the comparison trap. It seems like the more we focus on the money, the less happy we become.
It distracts us from the things that are free.
Like what?
Connection, nature, purpose.
Purpose is a big one. Can you buy purpose?
I think some people try to. They buy a business or they donate to get their name on a building.
But is that purpose or is that ego?
That is the question.
We were touching on the idea of legacy, buying a name on a building versus actually having a purpose.
It's a fine line. I think a lot of people confuse being known with being useful.
That's a powerful distinction. But let's look at the charitable side. Surely, if you have massive amounts of money, you can do massive amounts of good, and that has to feel amazing.
Theoretically, yes. Giving is supposed to trigger all those feel-good chemicals.
Right, so in that specific lane, money does buy happiness, because it buys the ability to change lives on a scale you couldn't otherwise.
I'm gonna challenge that slightly.
Go ahead.
Does writing a check for $1 million actually make you happier than, say, spending an afternoon volunteering at a local shelter?
I mean, the check feeds more people. Objectively, it's better.
Better for the recipients, sure, but we're talking about the happiness of the giver. Writing a check is abstract. It's just numbers moving on a screen. You don't see the impact. You don't look anyone in the eye.
So you think the happiness comes from the contact, not the result?
I do. I think we evolved to help the person standing in front of us. When you outsource your kindness to a bank transfer, it feels sterile.
That actually makes a lot of sense. It's like the difference between sending a text and giving a hug.
Exactly. The text conveys the message, but the hug conveys the feeling.
I guess I was looking at it from a utilitarian perspective, maximum efficiency. But happiness isn't efficient.
Happiness is rarely efficient. Usually, it's messy and slow.
You're right, I stand corrected. The connection is the source of the joy, not the transaction itself.
And you don't need wealth to have that connection. You just need time.
Which brings us to another commodity, time. They say money buys time.
Now, that is one argument I usually agree with.
So the logic goes, I pay someone to clean my house, I pay someone to mow the lawn, and now I have my Saturday back.
Which is freedom, and freedom is happiness. To me, that is the ultimate luxury, not a gold watch, but a free afternoon.
I used to believe that 100%, but recently I've been wondering if we're actually losing something by outsourcing all the drudgery.
Losing what? Back pain?
No, seriously, there is something grounding about taking care of your own environment.
I don't know, Mark. Scrubbing a toilet doesn't feel very grounding to me. It just feels like a waste of my limited time on Earth.
But think about the craft of living. If you never cook, never clean, never fix anything, you become kind of a passenger in your own life. You're just a tourist in your own house.
I think that's a stretch. I'd rather use that time to read or talk to friends or create something. That's living to me.
Is it, or is it just consumption? There's a quiet satisfaction in folding laundry or washing dishes. It slows you down.
You're talking about mindfulness.
Yeah. If you view it as a chore, it's a burden. If you view it as caring for your space, it's almost meditative.
Whew, I have to admit, I do feel different when I bake bread myself versus buying it at the store.
It tastes different, doesn't it?
It does. It feels like an achievement.
Because you put your energy into it. You didn't just swap a credit card for it.
Okay, I see your point. If we automate everything, we lose that sense of, I guess, competence?
Competence and ownership.
I'll give you that one. Maybe I shouldn't be so quick to hire a gardener.
Maybe just mow the lawn once in a while. See how it feels.
I'll try it, but if I get a sunburn, I'm blaming you.
Deal. I wonder if you guys listening have a chore you secretly love doing, something everyone else hates but you find relaxing. Let us know.
I'd bet someone is going to say ironing. I've heard people love ironing.
It is pretty satisfying to smooth out the wrinkles. A nice metaphor for life, really.
We've talked about time and we've talked about stuff, but we haven't really dug into people.
Relationships?
Yeah, relationships. Because there's this idea that if you have money, you are the most popular person in the room.
The Great Gatsby effect. Everyone comes to the party.
Exactly. But are they there for you or are they there for the champagne? I feel like having significant wealth would actually make me incredibly paranoid.
Paranoid?
I'd always wonder if people actually liked me, or if they just wanted a loan or a connection or a free ride. It seems incredibly isolating.
I see that. Trust becomes a luxury you can't afford.
Right. So in that sense, money destroys genuine connection. It puts a wall up.
I'm going to disagree with the destroys part. I think that is a very cynical take.
You don't think it changes the dynamic?
It does, but look at the flip side. Do you know what the #1 cause of divorce is?
Financial stress.
Exactly. Money arguments. We can't pay the rent. You spend too much on this. That destroys relationships far faster than having too much money does.
That is a stark reality.
When you aren't fighting for survival, you have the emotional bandwidth to actually love each other. You aren't just roommates trying to keep the lights on.
So you're saying money acts like a buffer. It absorbs the shocks.
Yes, it removes the friction. It allows you to focus on the person, not the problems.
I guess I was focusing on the rich and famous extreme. But for the average couple, you're right. Removing that survival anxiety probably saves marriages.
I think it saves a lot of them.
I stand corrected. The paranoia of being used is probably a better problem to have than the panic of going broke.
Pick your poison, I guess, but I'd choose the paranoia.
Yeah, I think I would too. It's easier to hire a therapist for paranoia.
Exactly.
So, if we agree that money solves survival, and it solves some relationship stress, why don't people stop?
Stop what?
Stop chasing it. You see these billionaires who have more money than they could spend in 1,000 lifetimes, and they are still grinding, still stressed.
It's the score. At that level, it's not money anymore. It's points in a game.
But that just seems sick. To me, it feels like a cultural sickness. We are brainwashed to believe more is always better.
I don't think it's cultural, Mark. I think it's biological.
Biological? How?
Think about our ancestors. If you found a berry bush, you didn't just eat one berry and walk away. You ate everything. You hoarded, because you didn't know when you'd find food again.
But we aren't in the savannah anymore. We have supermarkets.
Our brains don't know that. Our hardware is still set to scarcity mode. It doesn't have an off switch for accumulation.
So you think we are biologically incapable of feeling rich enough?
I think we have to fight our instincts to feel that way. The natural impulse is to hoard against the winter, even if the winter never comes.
That is actually kind of depressing. We're just hamsters storing seeds?
Pretty much, unless you consciously train yourself to stop.
That explains a lot. I was judging them for being greedy, but maybe they're just scared.
Anxiety disguised as ambition.
You know, that actually changes how I view the whole rat race. It's not malice, it's just an outdated survival mechanism glitching out.
Exactly, it's a software bug.
A very expensive software bug.
The most expensive one.
I wonder if it's possible to manually override that bug, to just say, I have enough.
It is, but it takes a lot of practice. Gratitude practice, mostly.
Gratitude. That word gets thrown around a lot.
It does, but it's the antidote to scarcity. You can't want more if you're truly thankful for what you have.
We've been circling this idea of enough. It makes me think about identity.
How so?
Well, there's that saying that money changes people. You see it happen. Someone gets a promotion or an inheritance, and suddenly they're different.
Different how?
Usually colder, more distant. I honestly think money acts like a filter that separates you from your humanity.
I'm going to push back on that, Mark. I don't think money changes people. I think it reveals them.
Reveals them?
Yeah. If you were generous when you were poor, you'll be a philanthropist when you're rich. If you were selfish when you were poor, money just gives you the power to be selfish on a larger scale.
So you think it's just an amplifier?
Exactly. It's like a magnifying glass. It doesn't create the traits, it just makes them visible.
That is a disturbing thought, because it implies that the potential for that ugliness was always there.
It probably was. They just couldn't afford to show it before.
You know, thinking back on a few people I've known, you're probably right. The signs were there. The money just removed the brakes.
It removes the consequences.
That's true. It's the amplifier theory. I accept that. It's not the money's fault. It's the person's fault.
It's always the person.
I'd be curious if our listeners have ever seen that transformation happen. If you've seen money reveal someone's true colors, let us know. It's a fascinating dynamic.
It's a character study for sure.
So, if money is just a tool and we are the craftsmen, then happiness really is just about how we use the tool.
Or knowing when to put the tool down.
That's the hard part, putting it down.
Especially when the world tells you to keep building.
So, as we wrap this up, do we have an answer? Does money buy happiness?
I think we've decided that it buys the possibility of happiness.
The soil, but not the plant.
That's a beautiful way to put it. You can have the best soil in the world, rich and fertilized, but if you don't water the seeds, nothing grows.
And the seeds are connection? Purpose?
Gratitude. I really think it comes down to gratitude.
I want to say you're right, but I still feel like there's a trap there. You can be grateful and still be miserable if you're lonely.
Can you? I feel like true gratitude pushes out the misery. You can't be both at the exact same time.
I don't know. I think you can be grateful for your lunch and still be sad that you're eating it alone.
That is a very valid point. I suppose gratitude isn't a cure-all. It doesn't fix a lack of human connection.
Right. So maybe the formula is money buys safety, safety buys time, and time allows for connection.
And connection brings happiness.
It's a long chain, and it can break at any link.
It breaks all the time. That's why we see unhappy rich people. They bought the safety, but they forgot to buy the time, or they used the time to work more.
They broke the chain.
Exactly.
It's complicated. I was hoping for a yes or no, but I guess life isn't that simple.
It never is. But I think I'm gonna stop worrying so much about the number in the bank account.
Me too. As long as the lights stay on.
As long as the lights stay on.
Thanks for chatting with me tonight, Sarah. This was grounding.
Thank you, Mark. It was good to be here.
And to everyone listening, try to buy some time this week. We'll see you next time.
Good night.